don't forget to put that bolt back in. It's the one we're trying to get the headlight assembly out here, and something is hanging it up right here in the corner. I can't quite figure out what it is. There's something holding the headlight assembly in there. Here's the inside of the cruise control actuator. It's basically your cruise control cable is going to connect up to here, and it goes to this little cog, and there's like a servo motor here, and when it engages, presumably this comes out and connects up the motor to here. There's a bunch of screws that hold the cap on here. So we're going to put this back together. There's nothing wrong in here. I just wanted to show that. Okay, when you're connecting up the cruise control cable to the actuator down there, you have to have it pushed all the way into the cable. All the way into the cable as far as it'll go. Route the cable down underneath this pipe right here. It's going to eventually go through this white clip, through that white clip, then come out down there. But you need to have it pushed all the way through, because when you get down here, yeah, we've got the headlight assembly off and everything, so we can work on it. You need to have enough sticking out. Can you see that? You need to have enough sticking out right here so it can connect up to the cable on the end of the actuator here. So we're going to connect that up, and we're going to get it put back into the car. And then what you're going to do is you're going to route your cable. Like I said, it's going to eventually go through this white clip into this white clip here, like that. Underneath this, around here, you want to make sure you have this plastic thing out of the rubber grommet. It's a two-handed thing. You have to two-handed get this thing in there and connect that up, and we'll do that now. All right, we're putting in a new throttle cable for the cruise control actuator. It's this one here, right here. Bought new clip for that. The cable comes with a new rubber grommet. Here's your cable right here. It goes underneath the throttle cable, loops around over here, goes underneath this line there, clips into this white clip here, into that white clip there, and then dives down there. It's directly under the brake booster. You can see it. You can see the electrical plug on the top of it right there. You can get at the 3 mounting bolts that hold it on down there from up here where the U-joint. It's an 8mm. There's 3 8mm nuts. Problem is you can't get it out. You don't have to take it out to replace the cable, but I wanted to check on some things, so I ended up removing the bumper, and I watched videos or read some write-ups about it, and they're like, you got to take off the bumper, and I tried doing it without taking off the bumper, but it's right here. It's now, you can take this right out. You know, the electrical clip plug is right there, and you can take it right out. Taking off the bumper only takes about 8 minutes. It's the easiest thing. It looks totally horrifyingly scary. 2 17mm bolts here, 2 17mm bolts there, and then it just pretty much comes off. You got to deal with the trim and stuff, but that's easy. Once the bumper is off, you can get under here and get the trim off. So 8 minutes to get the whole front end off, and I'm not really that good. And then you can get at your cruise control actuator to get it out or in. You know, I should also say, with the headlight out, it's real easy to get the master cylinder out now. If you wanted to do the master cylinder, get it off the brake booster there. Mine looks like it's been leaking, but I'm guessing, because it's not wet, that somebody already replaced it once. But you can see how the paint underneath there has come off. But anyways, we're not talking about brake boosters and brakes right now. We're talking about the cruise control actuator. There's another thing here, which is this guy, which also has a throttle cable coming out of it. I ordered a new cable for that. Seeing as we're in here, I'm going to replace that cable as well. I'll show you where it goes to next. So here's the other cable. It's right here. Goes to the bottom of the throttle body. And I don't really know what it does, but it was cracked. And this thing's kind of loose and old, so I'm getting all new one of those. It's 16 bucks. And it goes from right there, snakes around here, and then goes down. It connects up right here to the bottom of this guy right there. So while I have the headlight out, I'm going to take that off and put a new cable in as soon as it gets here in another day or two. So like I was saying, there's 3 8mm bolts for that guy down there. You can put one on from the front. What you're going to need is something like this, which I put together, just a long extension. And you kind of have to, where does it go? You kind of go down in here, and you can snake right down in there and get the other one on. And then the third one, you got to go in from this angle over here. Can't really see that so well. But third one, you got to put a universal joint on the end of this thing, and then you go down in this way, and then you can get all 3 bolts. All right, we got the cruise control cable right here, routed back underneath that line, around here, up onto here. We've got them both adjusted the same, so there's the same amount of tension on the throttle cable and this one, and it seems to be working good, dropping back down to about 600 RPM. So let that be a lesson. If you do not have this connected up, the car won't run right, and get that ACS error. So we don't have the front of the car all bolted back together yet, but we do have the cruise control actuator right there connected back up. There's your plug right there. That goes on and kind of twists down. There's a very specific spot that it's going to go. Make sure you get that on, and make sure this clip is on here tight as well. All right.